Coming up on this edition of Activate Live, we'll recap what happened at the Afl-Cio convention in St. Louis and tell you how the Machinists Union took part. We'll introduce you to the new IAM Journal, which is on its way to your mailbox if you haven't already received it. There's an online version too. That's next on Activate Live.
Activate your voice.
Activate it now.
Live from Maryland, this is Activate Live!
Welcome to Activate Live. I'm Tanya Hutchins, a communications representative here at Machinists Union headquarters. We're coming to you live from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and hope that we can help you to activate your voice, no matter where you are in the United States or Canada. We also hope that you'll be a part of our voice activation team by sharing this show with your friends, whether you hit the share button on Facebook or retweet on Twitter. We'd like to also give a shout out to everyone watching us on YouTube and Periscope as well. First up, here's what's going on. The Afl-Cio convention just wrapped up in St. Louis. Our own Delane Adams is in transit. Otherwise, he'd be right here giving us a recap. Delegates passed Machinists Union resolutions on protecting manufacturing jobs. International President Bob Martinez introduced the Fighting Together for Workers in Manufacturing resolution. The resolution fights to reform the North American Free Trade Agreement, better known as NAFTA, sets new templates for trade agreements, exposes poverty wages, and demands that all manufacturing jobs become living wage jobs. IAM General Vice President Jim Canigliaro addressed the room during the discussion about our unique philosophy about organizing in this fast-paced, technology-driven economy. IAM Strategic Resources Director Neil Gladstein also told convention delegates about how the Maine Lobstering Union was organized and why taking them through the history of Local 207 worked and how lobstermen are now marketing their own lobster via the lobster207.com website. So we hope you all order your lobster through that site. The Tennessee State Council of Machinists met last weekend in Nashville, and these are just a couple photos from the meeting. IAM General Vice President Mark Blondin spoke about how we have strength in the South because our members choose to be union in an area of the country that is dominated by right-to-work laws, and that's what we call right-to-work-for-less laws, because people who work in right-to-work states make less than those in states that do not have those laws. Out of our Western Territory, we want to support our members striking for workplace safety, justice, and respect on the job. More than 80 IAM production workers at Henkel Aerospace, Bay Point in Pittsburgh, California, and more than 40 workers at Solvay Industries in Santa Fe Springs, California, went out on strike after the two employers refused to address worker safety and other shop concerns on the floor. We will keep you posted on both of those issues. It is LGBTQ History Month, and if you're not up on your acronyms, that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer, or questioning. And we'd like to give our shout out to our constituency group, Pride at Work, for fighting every day for LGBTQ rights on the job. There are still states where you can be fired for being gay. More than half of the states in this country allow such firings. And even one state is too many because an injury to one is an injury to all. Pride at Work has more than 20 chapters across the United States. Its convention is next August in Phoenix. And for more information, you can visit the website prideatwork.org. That's prideatwork.org. And we are less than a week away from Halloween, derived from All Hallows Eve. Now, it used to be one of my favorite holidays as a kid, and if you have kids, you still see that excitement. Well, we can get in on all that action by supporting fellow union members who make much of the candy that we hand out. Now, we hand it out on the 31st. I grew up in New York, and we always celebrated on the 31st. Then I moved to Ohio, where I was introduced to a strange thing called Beggar's Night. Now, I don't get it. We should all just celebrate when it gets dark on the 31st. Nothing bad happened to me on the 31st, especially when it got dark. But anyway, back to the point. Support union candy by purchasing union-made products. And these are some of them that we have on the desk right now. And we actually have a list of the products, and some of your favorites have to be on this list. You can even download and print a cool poster to put on your door so that every trick-or-treater knows that these companies treat their workers fairly. Now, we got this list from the Afl-Cio. To see the full list, you can go to labor411.org. And you can download this poster from Build by USA, which has a new great partnership between several unions and Labor 411. The Machinists are proud to be part of that partnership. Build by USA is a place to find out how to use your union negotiated wages to buy union. Look for some great new features from the website, buildbyusa.org. They can also be found on the Facebook and Twitter pages. Twitter is not going out live right now, but we can still see people on Facebook and YouTube. The links are in the comments on Facebook. I still have to shop for candy and print my poster, but look at the bottom of the screen where it says Union Made Halloween. If you're using this poster on Halloween and you have bought Union Made candy, make sure to take a picture of you with your poster and your candy and use the hashtag Union Made Halloween wherever you use hashtags, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter, especially on Twitter. I'm not going to name any names, but there's somebody here in the communications department who always puts out candy. Thank goodness it's Union Made candy. It's Bob Wood, our first guest, the Director of Communications. I seem to always steal the Kit Kats because those are my favorites. Occasionally I'll have the Hershey Kisses and some Tootsie Rolls. I'm a chocoholic, I'll admit it. So I had to have this moved away from where my office is, Bob, and I put it outside of your office.
Well, and I don't eat any of it because my doctor won't let me. So I look at it, but it sure looks good.
You have way more willpower than I do because I had to get it away from me. But the reason that we're here today and having you on is because the new IAM Journal is on its way to your mailbox. You should get it any day now. And you can let us know in comments whether you've already received it. And if you have flipped through it, tell us which article that you relate to the most. So this is the brand new IAM Journal. And Bob, tell us, this is the second one that we've done this year. We
did a whole reboot with the IAM Journal. For a few years it was gone, and our members wanted it back, and we agreed. We needed to bring it back, and we've reimagined it. It's very member-centered. We tell stories about our members, about what's going on in their lives.
And this is the cover that they're looking at. Andy Hounshell took that picture.
Right. The journal's put together by a team mostly of 4 people. And that is Jonathan Battaglia, who is our Assistant Director of Communications, writer and photographer Andy Hounshell, and Rich Luciani, who's a great writer for us, and then Mike Mancini,
who does the graphics, right?
He is in charge of the graphics. He gives us this beautiful look of it.
And when you first open it up, this is what you see, the message from our international president, Bob Martinez.
Right, and then all of our contents and everything. And one of the first stories in here is a really neat one. We hope to have, this is Billy Barnwell. Billy is the directing business rep for District 131 in Georgia. And Billy's done a lot of organizing and negotiating, and sadly he was going to be here today, but he has negotiations going on right now. He's in the negotiations room with a company and his negotiating committee, so he couldn't be here. But he wrote a really great little letter, I guess.
And it's kind of called Your Voice.
Yes, we're calling this feature Your Voice. He says, I'm a union man, I'm in the South, that's why I love what I do. And he explains on this why he does what he does and some of the stories that happened. He organized an Avis group in Augusta, Georgia, and the things that happened there. And it's really from the heart, and it tells what being in a union is about. So we just thought this was a great story to lead off with. Also, I don't know if everybody knows the story about Uber, but in New York, we formed the Independent Drivers Guild because you have a situation there with the gig economy and workers that are really hurting because of it. It's really tough on them.
So these are workers like Uber workers, which we feature, and you'll hear from the drivers themselves.
Right. This talks about them. And now if you use Uber, you see that you have a tipping option.
Right.
That tipping option is there now because the IAM with the Independent Drivers Guild was able to get that done and put on your phone.
See, it's giving drivers a voice in their jobs. So we're so proud of our Eastern Territory and for the Independent Drivers Guild for working together to reach so many drivers.
Exactly. One of our next stories is Andy and Rich went out to Nellis Air Force Base, who just got a really good new contract, and talking about how this helps the veterans out there. You know, most of the guys out here, guys and ladies, are aircraft mechanics. Mm-hmm. And so what the union does for them helps raise their wages in a service contract situation. And it's a really neat story, really worth reading.
Excellent. And look at this one, Showdown in the Show Me State, Missouri, or Missouri, as they say, right?
That's right. That's a really interesting story because the legislature passed a right to work, which everybody knows is right to work for less, a right to work bill in Missouri. And what they did, they went and did a huge petition drive. And it's very difficult to do. Nobody thought they could do it. They got 3 times as many signatures as they needed. And so that's the story about that. And so that's going to go to vote next year.
And we also want to let people know, for the first time ever, we're also on Instagram Live. So I just wanted to mention that because we appreciate the people who are watching us behind the scenes.
Right. The Instagram feed's kind of behind the scenes because you can't hook into our system.
Yeah.
And so...
but they can still see some of the pages from
right
here. But this story here is about one of our retirees.
Right. This gentleman retired, and now he's collecting and raising money to take prosthesis. Did I say that right?
I think you did.
I'm from Kansas. That's surprising. And nothing against Kansas, just against me.
Prosthesis is one. Prostheses is many, right?
Okay.
Plural.
And what he does, he goes down to Panama and helps children and people that have amputations to get these. And it's just a really great story.
Excellent. And here we have information about Job Corps, TCU IAM.
Right. And what this is all about is about us training the next generation. And we're working on things like Job Corps. We're working on apprenticeships. And this makes a difference in people's lives.
What was the idea about the new design? And here we have a cartoon that's at the end. It's in the back of the IAM Journal.
Yeah, I want to talk about this. Of course, we started last time. We had a cartoon by cartoonist Richard Krausen, who's working with us and providing us cartoons. And this one, Veterans Day, is coming up. And so Richard did a cartoon for Veterans Day, and we're really proud of that. It's a great cartoon.
I love his work.
And so, yeah, our design, I mean, like I say, we looked at this with a whole fresh, as they say, piece of paper. And we're really proud of this journal and what we're doing here. I mean, we're trying to change the culture. We're trying to find new ways to reach our members. And they're on the internet. And also, they want to see stuff on paper. And so this is I think the mailing date, I think they mailed them on Monday, so they should be in your mailbox. If they're not there already, they'll be there soon. But also, you can read it right now online.
That's right.
That's right. And isn't that something?
That's great.
And you can, in our comments on Facebook, we've posted the link to it, and it looks really good on your iPad or your iPhone.
And speaking of comments, like Sandra Engel said that she loves the personal stories about how unions change lives. So thank you, Sandra, for commenting there. And Ramon Garcia says, hey, Bob.
Oh, Ramon.
But we are just trying to showcase the value of union membership, what the union means to us and how it changes our lives. And we're hoping to showcase members and to tell you why it's so important to be in a union. And a lot of times people don't understand it until they're in a union, and it does change your life, and you see the job protections. So those are some of the stories. Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to put my earpiece back in because I heard an echo before, so I took it out. but I'm going to put it back in because we are going to move to page 13 of the journal, where a touching story is featured about Ross Olson and his family. And this story can actually bring you to tears. Unfortunately, it illustrates what many families are going through: the struggle to pay medical bills because of the skyrocketing cost of surgeries, hospital stays, follow-up visits, and medication. And Ross is joining us right now. Thank you so much for joining us, Ross.
Thank you for having me.
Ross, we just saw a picture of you holding a stack of bills. What did you think when you started getting all of those bills, and how much did it amount to?
Well, when I first started seeing everything get submitted to insurance, it was terrifying, you know. I'd never had any sort of
I'm having trouble
major
hearing
medical...
Ross. Can you guys hear him? Okay, they can hear him, so keep talking, Ross.
Okay. I never had any big claims before, so I had no idea what to expect. And you're seeing huge amounts, you know, it's $20,000 a day in the NICU being billed to the insurance. So yeah, it was terrifying at first. But it wasn't long after I started seeing what my portions were and how much the insurance was covering. And I mean, I paid a fraction of what was being billed. It was amazing how much my coverage took care of.
Ross, tell us how Emma and Ellen are doing right now.
Doing very well. Ellen's back to work. She actually has a new job now. She's teacher. She's loving it, and Emma is amazing. She amazes me every day. She's grown.
Even say hi.
Itsy bitsy spider.
Itsy's in trouble. We love you.
Tearjerker. You can see it right here on Facebook, or you can go to our YouTube page to watch the full 7-minute video. Ross, tell us the job that your wife was in originally when she was pregnant, and the job that she's in now, and just the difference between the protections in the two jobs.
Well, she was a teacher for a private school. It was a non-union position, and when her water broke and was required to go on bed rest, she ended up going on FMLA, and it was around a year before she was planning on coming back. When she contacted the school to come back, the position wasn't there for her, and there was really nothing she could do. So that was really an eye-opener for her to see the differences between, you know, having a union contract and having somebody have your back versus just being on your own. And now she's a teacher for the school district that we live in, and she's a union member now, and actually looking to become a shop steward for their school. So she's really understood the values that a union can bring, and just way beyond just the medical portion. You know, it's just everyday protections and rights, and just being treated fairly, and you know how we would want to be treated. So,
do you think that's what made her want to get involved in the union by becoming active?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, she's seen everything the union's done for me, and you know, she wants that too, and I can't blame her at all. I wish everybody could see the benefits but not have to go through it firsthand. You know, it's kind of heartbreaking when, you know, you're expecting your job to be there, and you come back and it's part-time now and it's half the wages. I mean, what do you do? You know, it's not what you expect.
So the union really is changing your lives, both your life and your wife's and Emma's.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything I have is because of the union. You know, when I started at Inver Grove, Florida, I was 18, so I've been a union member since I was 18. And everything I have is because I'm an IAM member. I mean, there's no doubt.
Before you leave, Ross, what made you start to get involved and active in the IAM?
Well, one of my very good friends and coworkers from Invergrove Ford was shop steward, and he really took me under his wing and started bringing me to meetings and just little things to get involved in. And the more I showed up and the more I listened and became a part of it, the more I just wanted to really get involved and do my part and help everyone else. So it was friends getting me involved.
Is there any message that you have to any non-union members out there who may not know about unions?
Yeah, I would say there's so much to it that all the protections that you can get, and just fair wages, good health care, retirement options. I mean, there's more to it than just simple health care or a pension. It's this whole package that protects you and takes care of you, and you just
takes
can't
care of your family.
You can't put a value on that. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your story about your family. We wish you the best, and Ellen and Emma. She's adorable.
Thank you very much, and a big thank you to the communications department. Everything turned out amazing, and I'm just honored to be.
Even say hi. Even say hi.
Here on Facebook, and you can see the video is called $1 Million Baby. The link is right there to give you the story on goiam.org. You can also find it on our YouTube page. If you search Machinist News, you'll see the Machinist Union will come up, and the video will be right there. So we appreciate everybody who is joining us and commenting. Susie Valor said, great story, y'all. So thank you, Susie. Ramon Garcia says, great story about Emma, must-watch video. So we really appreciate that. And I really apologize to anybody whose voice or whose name that I'm mispronouncing. But we want to thank Guillaume Valois, Tommy Hunt. There's so many others that have joined us right now. James Winters, Matt Henry, Mike White, John Reagan, Robert Fulton, Donald Leap, Tony Worth, Michael Green, Jim Price is watching, Delane Adams. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Even IAM Local 712. All right. Thanks so much. Well, looking ahead on our IAM calendar, we like to tell you what's going on in the union, and we're getting closer to the Guide Dogs of America annual events that are coming up November 16th to November 18th in Las Vegas. And you can take part in a sporting clay event, the Hogs for Dogs motorcycle ride, the charity golf tournament, and the charity banquet. And all events raise funds for Guide Dogs of America, which provides guide dogs free of charge to blind and visually impaired people in the United States and Canada. You can also volunteer for Wreaths Across America, December 16th. If you're a Machinist Union member in the D.C., Maryland, or Virginia area, you can contact Carlos San Miguel here at headquarters before December 6th if you're interested in volunteering at Arlington National Cemetery. The event is open to the public nationwide, so you can volunteer anywhere in the nation if you're near one of the national cemeteries. And don't forget to apply for an IAM scholarship. You still have time. You have to fill out an application packet before February 23rd. The scholarship competition is open to Machinist Union members and children of members. And for more information, you can visit our website, which is goiam.org. That's goiam.org. Just search the word scholarship in the search bar there, and you'll get all the information that you need on how to apply and who is eligible. And we want to thank everybody who's been joining us and commenting and sharing. we wanted to dedicate this show to the IAM Journal. So we've given you a little bit of a taste and a sneak peek into what you're seeing and what will show up in your mailboxes in the next few days. And if you'd like to become part of our voice activation team, spread the word about this show by sharing it and commenting on what we've talked about. So we want to thank all of you for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, hopefully Twitter, and YouTube. And we want to thank all the Instagram people that are still watching us for trying that new with Instagram Live as well. So until then, activate your voice. So long from headquarters.